Hey guys, hello and welcome to the channel Programming with Casey. So in the last video what we had covered is we had covered the two different examples, as you can see over here, initialize object example 1 and 2. So what we learned in that was how you can use the object and call the reference variable, right, and how you can call the method with the help of the object. So we learned that thing. As you can see that we had created the methods over here and we are calling these methods with the help of the objects which we had created over here, right? So in this video we are going to use the constructor. So the concept is like almost same, where you are going to call the constructor with the help of the object, and the crispier thing is that it is called automatically. Let me explain you. First I would like to create the class over here. So I will write over here, give the class name as a initialize object constructor. Okay, so I'm giving the name like this, or example 3, but it's okay, I'm giving the initialize object constructor. I'm providing the psvm over here, and let's complete this task and create a class over here. Okay, so see guys, now this is my class with the file name, right? And I have to create the one more class which is going to call the present constructor, right, which is present inside the initialize object constructor. So let me first create some data members over here, like the data variable would be int id for the employee, and let's say I'm taking the string over here, string name. Okay, so two attributes is enough. So, and I am creating over here a default constructor and passing some parameters. Parameters is my int id comma string name. Okay, so this is the parameter, and I need to assign this, which is same to my the local data members. Okay, so I would like to write like this dot id is equal to my id, and this dot name is equals to name. Okay, so why it is giving some oh, no, I'm not taking the employee. Yes, it is the example of employee only, but it should be the same name as the class name. Okay, so that's why it is giving problem due to the class name. So initialize object constructor is the perfect one over here. As you can see that uh, 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 there is some problem. Mm, just a second guys, I'm cutting this and writing this over here. Okay, so yeah, we did with this and control D. Okay, so I had created this constructor, as you can see, initialize object constructor, and by default just try to understand that I'm taking the example of the class. So just assume that this is the example of the class employee. Okay, why? Because I'm writing this as an initialize object constructor, because it should be same name as my class name, right? So that's why. Okay, so over here we had created the constructor, as you can see, with some parameters in it. Okay, so now I would also like to create a method which will display some message. So just writing over here display, and please also understand that naming convention how you should do. So when there is a two words in between, so you should for the first word the first letter should be the capital, and for the second word, let's say display output, then it will be like O is the capital and rest all letter will be the small. So I'm just writing void display over here. Okay, and just want to print some sys out over, I would like to do the sys out over here. So let's do the sys out, just a simple message in the form of message. So I like that employee data is id, and just do the plus over here into a space, id, one more plus, and name is name. Okay, is it fine? So yes, we created one constructor also. So let me just do comment constructor and one method, right? method or a function, you can say. Okay, so now this is the PSVM, and I want to create a class over here. So public class, or you can directly create the class over here. So I will say that this is the class test. Okay, so and just do over here. mm, you can close this class over here. So this is actually not closed, so we can close this over here, and the error is gone now. Okay, so this is the class test, as you can see. So we had covered this class over here, and this is the class new one test, and I am saying that I want to call this. So with the help of the object, so first we will create now. See, now I am saying that initialize, we'll say that initialize object example2. Why I had given this name, actually I wanted to give the name as a class name as an employee, but well, I also wanted to create the three examples, different examples, so I can't create with that. So that's why I had given this name, initialize object constructor. Initialize object example1, this was for the reference variable. Initialize object example2, this was for the method, right, function. So how we can call the method with the help of the objects. Okay, so I'm writing initialize object example2 and giving some name as a e1, let's say for the employee, and saying that new and initialize control space, it will generate automatically example2. No, it's not the example2. That's why this is the disadvantage also when we don't observe the name carefully. It is the constructor. Now it will give some error because it is mismatching object constructor. Okay, okay. See, now observe. Last time we had did this, but there was no problem to do, because what we did over here, you can see that I had just created the objects like this and not passed some parameters, because this has created for the constructor. When you want to pass some arguments, let's say while declaring or while creating the object only, then you need to pass inside this parenthesis while you create the object for the class. But to pass some arguments for any method, you should use the object after creation. Like when you create the object, then you can use that object to call the method, and with respect to the parameters, you can pass the arguments inside that. So now in our case, as you can see that I want to display some in this format, but I need to pass some arguments. So how will you pass the argument for a constructor? So it is when you create the object, basically by default your constructor is also created. So I would like to write over here, by default constructor is created while creating objects. Right, so we are perfect over here. So you can now it is perfectly fine. You had created this default one over here, but I need to pass some arguments inside that. So ID and name, we had written this inside this parameter. So ID will be 1 over here, and name I would like to give as a KC. So yeah, now there is no error, as you can see. And also I want to use this object as let's say I had created one over here, so I will write e1 dot display. So you can see that this is the display part over here, and I had used this object also. Just now this is giving some problem test. And what is the problem? The test and the type test is already defined. Okay, so inside this package only I had created the test class also. So I would like to change this name, and now this will not give any error. Why? Because I had created the test class inside this example one, and test one may be in the example two. That's why I'm taking the test three in this class. Okay, so just printing the message, and let's see what happens. So it is saying that the selection did not contain any resources that can run on server. Okay, so this happens sometimes. So just use the run last tool. Oh, no, no. Just check it once again. So run. as there is no example, none applicable. Why it is happening? This also happened last time also, so I need to fix this problem now. Just hold on, guys. Yeah, okay, okay. No, but it is not running this one. This is running the last example, maybe. First employee is 1, but I had not given the second employee. So it is some mistake over here. So, firstly, I should maybe stop this. So, how can I do? Just let me check, guys. Sorry for your time. So, new console view. Okay, it won't close. I want to do it like this now. Terminate, disconnect all, and now run this once again. We launch test and just run as a class. Why, man? It is taking too much time now. It is not running. Right click, run as run configuration, initialize object constructor. Oops, no, oops, fundamentals, yes, search. This is perfect over here. Oops, fundamentals, input mismatch, no. Cancel this. Name is not the test. What is the name over here? Initialize object constructor. But I don't know whether this will work or not. Object constructor, run this. No, it is not giving over here. Let's take a console view. Console view over here. First employee, no. Hey man, what is happening? Okay, initialize object constructor, and now let us check. Okay, so initialize object constructor Java application. So first employee is 1 and the name is Casey, but I had not printed the second one. Hey guys, so at last I got the output over here. So it was a long process. What I did was actually I did the run as a configuration over here. So let me show you how did I troubleshoot also. So what I did, I actually searched for the package and the class name, and after that it was conflicting over here. So I changed the name and applied, and I said run. So I got the output then. So this was the output for, and this is the correct output. As you can see, employee data is id 1 and name is Casey. If you want to check the for the others also, so we can check for the others also. So let's run this again and just check the output for this. And you can see that this is, oh my god, this is giving the initialize object constructor only. So we need to do this again as the run configuration over here. So object example 1 is, and the test is not the 3 over here. So we will change this as a test class different in this case. So it is taking some time due to, because the recording is also on. That's why this is taking as a heavier task. Okay, so we have test 3, we have test 2. Let's check where is that. So yeah, test fundamentals, and it is object example. So just write the example over here and just apply and run now. Yeah, so you got the output for this also. So this was basically procedure. There is some issue in this, so I need to fix that. But for the current output, you can see that only one message was printed, that is employee data one and name is equals to KC. So I hope that you understood how we can use the object for the constructor and how we can pass the argument. So we do not have to create the constructor like separately. When we create the object, by default it has been created. So this was the concept basically. Right, so we'll see you in the next video. So till that time, take care guys. Thank you and bye bye.